That's but Game of Thrones, y'all definitely hit me to that. But let's go right into.
But hold up, there's one last thing that I want to mention on episode 1. We pretty much got left on a cliffhanger because we don't know who pruned Loki for him to get back. So that's a mystery.
I forgot about that.
That's a mystery. That's a mystery right now. So we don't know who pruned Loki.
A lot of people would assume.
A lot of people assume that it's Sylvie, but it's not her. So we don't know.
Did he prune himself? I thought that was the plan.
I think it's him.
You think Loki pruned himself?
I think he pruned himself. Another version of himself pruned himself.
Yeah, that's what I thought happened. That's what I thought they said was what happened.
And the dude OB, his name is Ouroboros, right? And that's like a thing that like chases his tail, right? Like it eats his tail, right? That's what it is.
That's it's like a never ending. Ouroboros is like another word for a world serpent. In North mythology. I did not get this from myself. I got it from screen because they were just talking about it. It was like the Ouroboros thing is like in the circle, like all this shit is like in the fucking circle, bro. Like all this, that's why it's fucking my mind up right now. So I'm just like, bro, when he went from the past, he was in the present, and then he was telling OB stuff in the past, and then OB was remembering it. He was like, it was like to his mind in the future. Like that's how it's supposed to be. Like I really did rock with that. I did like all that time splitting stuff like that. So no, definitely episode 1. I gave it a lighters up. You feel me? So episode 2, we definitely gonna get in episode 2, man. So episode 2 came out Friday. We are definitely back. I feel like this episode was definitely. I'm gonna be real with you. I really like this episode, to be honest with you. I
did too. Like they gave a lot even more in episode 2.
Who wanted to get some McDonald's when McDonald's? I was like, dang, I want some McDonald's.
I just had McDonald's the fucking night before and shit. That shit was crazy. Be on point.
I like how they set it up to look like the McDonald's like back then. I don't know how they were able to do it, or I don't know if they built one, because you can actually just build a set and just have it look like that. But either way, I like how they designed it to look just like the McDonald's back in the early 80s.
They had the old colors and everything.
But Torian, that's how I really fuck with you, because you just said that like about that, because that is like I feel like that's really a key to McDonald's. Like if you really know McDonald's, even though I wasn't born in the 80s, but it's all the stuff that was in there. I remember when McDonald's was actually like a play place. You feel me? Like you could go play and stuff. Like people used to have their birthdays at McDonald's. No lie. McDonald's used to have like a birthday deal, like a menu for your birthdays. Torian, you so real, bro, because I was like that. I used to actually be excited for people to have their birthdays at McDonald's. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. Especially at when I went to this school called Oyster, they used to most people are your 5th birthday or your birthday. We walked up the street and they had the whole it was a McDonald's birthday menu, literally. So I
remember the little birthday coupons they used to send out in the mail and shit for your birthday or whatever. You know what I'm talking about? They used to send out.
Oh my god, Ronald.
The little playground shit they used to have. I don't know if they have anymore. I never see the playgrounds.
Anymore. Did y'all?
I never got into them. Never got into them. I didn't know how to get in.
I did. I definitely did. And they used to have the game. You used to be able to play the games in there too when they had demos too. But I agree. I definitely agree. I really did like that. So this episode, if we really go over for real, it started off kind of weird. They were looking for X5, you know what I'm saying? I think X5 was a good character, but the beginning was kind of confusing to what they were really doing. I didn't really get what they were doing at the beginning.
It was in the 70s.
Yeah, the 70s.
You can look at the tell by the way they were dressed and the music that this was definitely the 70s.
I really like that scene because I think X5 was like really like not trying to roll though. He was like, all right, y'all. Like,
he became famous. He became a movie star. Like he didn't want to go. He was famous. He went into a point that he enjoyed and he didn't want to get pulled out of it. But they knew they had to get him out of it because he plays a huge part in the regular timeline. And they needed him there, but he didn't want to leave. So this is like where you really start to get your first piece of true action from Loki, like he's using his powers, like he uses
Finally.
power to knock him. He knocked him
Hey,
all the way to the bottom of them
I got-
stairs. He
we-
didn't even tumble down the stairs. He just shot
I
right
think
down
we all
all
got
the
that.
stairs.
I think we all got that in our notes. He finally got to use his power. I got that shit
Yes.
written down right here. I'm like, thank you, because
And then I thought
where's the powers at?
I thought what was dope too was that Loki
He's a
was
sorcerer.
able to use his shadows. You know, the shadow figures to hold X5 to the wall. I thought that was dope, and you know, he used his manipulative powers as well. He used like a good, and the thing is, that's not even a chunk of what Loki can do, as we've already seen him throughout the years. He can do way more. He was just teasing you, like, you know, with what he was doing here. So I thought that was dope. He, of course, made multiple copies of himself. He even confused Mobius because Mobius thought he was talking to the real him, and he was like, "Nah, I'm over here."
You saw the Tom Cruise run too. They had him with the Tom Cruise.
Oh,
I understand that.
They was taking flight on.
I was mad at that. I got Loki can't teleport. Like, what is this? Like, Loki's not gonna teleport.
They just had to show him. They just had to show that he was off the leash. They like, he's off the leash. He's off the leash now.
I got finally used some magic. Damn it! Like, come on, man. Like, this is the God of Mischief. Right? Come on now, show some powers.
And that was and it's funny you say that too. So I don't want to jump ahead, but when we, you know, kind of get a little bit more.
Yeah.
It's funny. I'm gonna remember what you just said. What you said. I'm finally glad they showed us because you're the God of mischief.
Yeah, man. Come on, man. There's nothing that's running like these times. Like
they catch X5, right? They catch X5, and you know, X5 is like they capture him. You know, they're like, bro, you got to shut this down because you know he knows where Sylvie is, and basically they need to get to Sylvie to get the information, let her know like, hey, I'm time slipping, like shit not going right. We got to fix some shit up. So they take him to the TVA. Now, I think that this was probably one of the strongest scenes. I think with Owen Wilson when they went to the TVA when he finally went off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because exactly. Like Mobius, like he was. It's almost like this could have been the beginning of a villain arc for him. Like, and I like the acting for everybody involved in that scene was really good because the actor who played X5 did a very good job of getting inside their head and kind of playing a mind game with them. And that goes back, and that's why it goes back to what Tone was just saying when he was saying, come on, Loki, you're the God of mischief, because that's what X5 was telling him. He said, don't go around trying to be the hero and the good guy, because you're not. You never were. You're the God of mischief. Stop trying to be the hero.
He's going in.
And then that's when Loki was like kind of like getting in his face and like stepping to him. And at first I thought Loki was going to do something right there, but he still kind of held back. But he said, I will reveal myself if it comes to that. But what shocked me was when Mobius got in his face and was ready to throw them hands. Because he got in his head.
No, it definitely. Tone, what did you think about that? Like that scene? Did you feel like did you expect Mobius to respond like that? Like,
no, it caught me by surprise. I agree, and definitely caught me by surprise. I didn't expect that him to smack that dude like that. Like I ain't see that coming.
I agree, man.
I thought Loki was going to end him. To be honest with you, I was like, he must get a switch on this dude. By the punish him.
And the thing is, even when they played, like I thought they were playing kind of good cop, bad cop, but it's kind of crazy. Good cop, like Mobius, like he really like don't want to know, like he really don't care. Like it's like he don't care about like wanting to know about the outside life no more. Like that shit got to him. I think that he's like, damn, we really got snatched from our lives. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and I've been trapped down here and removed from my life, and you know. Loki is they're great. They have a great friendship. You know what I'm saying? Like he really fussed with Mobius. Like, you know what I'm saying? And even when they got that machine or whatever, he like started tricking X5 and interrogating him or whatever.
Yeah.
I was like,
it's like Loki had to remind X5 that I'm still a villain.
Yeah.
Like he's like, I'm not trying to be.
Yeah, like he right there too.
Yeah, like he was shrinking him, and like he was shrinking him in, and I thought that was dope because I was like, yes. That's the God of mischief right there, because that's something Loki would do.
Yeah,
and that's still light work compared to what he could do. But he said at that moment, this is what I'm going to do, and it worked because he was able to literally squeeze out of him where Sylvie was.
Information,
literally.
And he was like, he just kept on, bro, like. bro thought he was gonna be solid. He was like, nah. When that little thing started getting smaller, he was like, nah, bro, you gonna fold. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna fold. You're gonna definitely fold.
Especially since his main mission is to want to go back to that timeline that they just pulled him out from.
Correct. So, and they hit him with the okie doke. So everybody seen him hitting with the okie doke. They got the interrogation. They got the information of where Sylvie was at. You know, they go. Now I'm gonna tell you this, man. I don't even, the fact that Loki likes himself is out of his world. But when he came in there and saw Sylvie getting that moment, I'm just like, dang, man, that's his boo, man. I'm like, dang, he was just like, what's up? She just like trying to carry my man. He like, it's me. Like it's me. Like it's me again. You feel me? And how y'all feel just to see them back in? Did you feel like their chemistry going crazy? Like, cause I feel like it went crazy.
I can tell that Sylvie was like kind of shocked to see him there because she wasn't expecting to find for Loki to find her, because again, there's so many timelines. So who knows where she could have went, and she probably was shocked, like, you actually found me. And you know, she left and she went on her little break, and her and Loki was outside having a conversation. And it was also at this moment where X5 and Mobius was sitting down inside of the McDonald's, and Mobius was eating and everything like that. And then that's when Mobius was questioning. He's like, is this a setup? He's like, is this really a setup? Because you seem real tense right now. You know, at first you was real cocky, your ego was really high, but now you're real tense and you're kind of shaky. You're like, what is really about to happen? He's like, because now it's like he may not be trying to get back to the timeline he's on just because he wants to get back to the fame. He's probably trying to get back there because something might happen if he does not get back there. Man. And then that's when they come back outside and was like, look, we got to get back to the TVA because something is going on. And then I like how Sylvie used her powers to switch out of her uniform and go right into her Loki attire while still wearing the jacket. Of course, she didn't take the jacket, but she kept the jacket, but had the Loki uniform on. And I don't think they went back to the TVA. They went to the location where the general was at, and that's when we find out they were pruning a whole bunch of timelines. Like they were pruning them timelines like crazy. And then when you look at the TVA, all the timelines were shrinking. I thought that was crazy to see all those timelines literally shrink and fade into obscurity. I said, well, looks like we up out of here.
To be back over what Torian just said, I don't know if I peeped, but I was kind of trying to count the timelines that were left over. Other than the secret timeline, I saw four branches left over. So I don't know if I peeped that, but I was looking at that. That was pretty crazy to see. Like I said, the bottom of the timeline.
That definitely was the highlight. Said was Sylvie, you know what I'm saying? Like, she low-key don't even want to be a part of this. You know what I'm saying? She like, look, I didn't do what I had to do. I changed everything, but she doesn't really know she ruined everything. And you know, they show what OB again. He's like, dog, like, we got to get out of here for the TVA literally just disappears. Like, this TVA disappears everything. So with the timeline just being destroyed and just watching them in that room, watching all them people just basically like
die.
Basically. Yeah, like they basically their timeline disappeared. You know what I'm saying? Like that's fucking crazy. Like, how did we get here from Loki season 1?
And I like how, you know, they had to go to that warehouse where all of those machines were at, and you know, Sylvie and Loki had to like link up and use their powers to destroy that, you know, and stop them from destroying whatever timelines have not been touched. So I thought that was very interesting as well. And then that's when they leave from there, and then they go back to the TVA, and then that's when you see all the time, most of the timelines, with the exception of the sacred timelines and a few other timelines, were gone. Like they, you know, they pretty much were dead. And it's crazy because it's like you saw all of them like literally branching out, like at the end of the first season and in the first episode, and now you literally see them shrinking. Like you literally see it on the screen, like shrinking down to nothing.
Could that be a metaphor for Marvel saying, "Hey man, you know what? This is not."
You're talking to Kevin Feige, Tony.
Could that be a metaphor? I'm just saying, bro. I probably was even more smacked. Right?
It'd be a coincidence.
I had my third eye open, bro. I was like, "Hey, what if Feige is like, this is a metaphor for him saying, you know what? This idea is not going to work. So scrap this timeline. This idea is not going to work. Scrap this timeline. Like Daredevil was getting reshoots or whatever. Maybe that's Daredevil's timeline getting maybe a metaphor for that.
Yeah, because they said Daredevil. They was like they took that straight. They literally shooting that and said, "Nah, this ain't that."
Yeah, no reshoots. I just
they said they got rid of the writers and the director.
Yeah,
I was like,
I'm like,
woo.
okay, bro.
I said,
like,
y'all literally started from scratch.
This ain't that.
So I'm just saying, metaphors everywhere. I'm just saying that be stopped.
And you know what's so crazy? We got all of this going on, with Loki on this episode, and we still haven't seen Victor Timely yet.
Well,
so it's crazy. I mean, we know he's coming. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think he shows up in episode 4. So we've got like another week before we see him.
I was definitely going to ask what's our prediction for him, because now I think with the momentum they got, like I thought episode 1 did a great job of getting the momentum back, carrying it. Episode 2, I want to say it kind of stalled a little bit, just a little bit, not too much, but just a little bit. But now it'll be a great time to move forward to get to whatever everyone wants to see, the next Kang iteration, because that's what we're all waiting for. To see how
And I think if I'm not mistaken, I think he's only in 2 episodes this season.
That's fine.
Yeah, I think he's only in 2 episodes.
I'm fine with it, as long as
I think just with this second episode, I saw online like a lot of people weren't really liking it or whatever. I'm just like it slowed down, like bro, like we have to still understand what's going on here. You feel what I'm saying? Like we still don't know what the TVA is, and I think they're trying to go into that. We still have to see Miss Minutes. I'm very curious to see Miss Minutes because she's supposed to be on her job and she working. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. And we need to figure out why she's working with the ops and what she's gaining from working from the ops. You feel what I'm saying?
Well, I think they said in the episode with He Who Remains, now that he's gone, it has like a glitch with her. As long as he was alive, she's alive. But now that he's gone, she's gone. Like they're connected. And we still haven't seen but you know what? One good thing did come out of the timelines being taken away. They were able to locate Renslayer.
Well, who is Renslayer again?
Because they were trying to find.
Is that the judge last season?
Yeah, the judge. Yeah, she was like. I guess you could say like she was like the president or something like that, or the overseer.
I ain't gonna lie, I kind of remember that was.
Yeah, but remember when she left last season and she just disappeared. We don't know where she went. But the thing is, she just kind of disappeared on one of the timelines. But because there's so many, you didn't know where she ended up at. And remember, they got the Tempad. The Tempad. So by them, I said one good thing that came out of all of those timelines being destroyed is now they have located where she's at. So I think that's going to be very interesting because I want to know into her backstory and how she's connected to He Who Remains, because I know there's a connection there.
What if that's his wife, the one that he always?
They say in the comics that ends up being his thing. So, I honestly think that the next episode we see, this is my early prediction. Let me just go ahead and say this. What is y'all, that pretty much was the synopsis of episode 2. You know what I'm saying? Like they just pruned some timelines. We're still trying to, it's a lot of questions.
It's an understatement.
Yeah, it's a lot of questions that have to be answered very, very soon. What would y'all give this episode? What would y'all rate it?
I give it a 9.
Let me see. I had my rating.
I definitely gave it a 9.5. So I gave it a lighters up on my end. So big lighters up for Loki.
I gave it an 8.5.
Episode 2. Okay, 8.5. Lighters up. Okay,
I just felt it kind of stalled a little bit. That's all. Just a little bit.
It was parts, but not. That's why I'm like. That's what it stopped me for giving it a 10. You feel me? But what? Either one of y'all can go. What is a prediction or anything you may think that may happen in the next episode 3?
They're gonna go after Renslayer now that they know her location.
Just you think this is gonna be her episode? This Renslayer.
I think I'm not gonna say it's necessarily her episode, not like say a filler where it's just her, but I think she's gonna be a focal point. Where they're going to go and try to find her because she plays a part. They need to find her.
I think a major character is going to die. I didn't get a chance to see this, but I thought that what's his name? Not B15, but the other one,
X5.
X5. I thought he was like a useless character. That's why I gave the score like an 8.5. Because I feel I feel like, I mean, nah, he was funny with it. I thought he was just like a mentor in the end, but I thought he could do something else with his shit. I thought he had like too many scenes. Scenes was too long, if that makes sense. Like his scenes, his interaction was kind of too long, and they could have used some more time to, with Risley or something. But I think, like Tori said, this might be Risley a light episode. I hope it's not a filler, and I think we might get some mention of Kane because he like if they showing her, she obviously has to be with Kane, so we can expect them
Or
to.
or I wonder if this is the episode, and this is another prediction right here, and I will kick myself if I'm right about this. I wonder if this is going to be the episode that's going to end off with what we saw in the post-credit scenes of Quantumania, because that scene is in the show.
Like
When
the
Mobius and Loki is
Coliseum?
sitting there and they're watching the show, and they open up the curtain and you see Victor Timely, well, one of his
Yeah,
variants.
yeah, yeah,
And he said, and he's like, "That's him." And then it cuts off. That's the post-credit scene in Quantumania. I
yeah.
wonder if this episode is going to end off with that.
That could be something. I definitely agree with y'all. I think Renslayer is going to be that. This is going to be her episode. Like I agree with Tone. I just hope it's not a filler episode. I hope it moves the story forward. You feel what I'm saying? Like Torian said too. Like they're going to find her. Like this is the story moving forward. With Victor Timely, I don't think he's going to be a bad guy. I don't think this is going to be a bad Kang, a variant of Kang. I think he might end up helping them more than hurt them. But you never know with Kang. You know what I'm saying? We don't know. What He Who Remains really was doing. This might have been his whole plot the whole time to just get them to do this the whole time. But I am excited to see it next week. So we definitely going to tune in. We definitely going to we're going to discuss in the group chat. I know that for sure. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I really do hope this is going to be very, very good. I mean, and as we before we go, I know anybody had anything else to say about Loki episode 2 before we go to a quick blunt talk before we go.
I thought Loki was overall is doing good though.
Yeah,
Like
I'm enjoying
especially,
it.
yeah,
Ditto.
I'm enjoying it. Definitely
I'm
enjoying it.
excited to really see where it goes and to let y'all know the schedule. So for 4 and for the next 2 episodes, we won't do live, but 5 and 6, the last 2 episodes we will do live. I'm gonna be out of town at the end of October, so
All right, cool.
the last 2 episodes, 5 and 6, we will do live. So I'm very excited about that. Like I said, Loki is going great so far, but this is a quick blunt talk before we go, man.